simplify the trigonometric expressions. So we got two parts, part A and B. So here tangent theta plus a fraction. In part B we got two fractions. Here tangent and a fraction. Tangent by the quotient identity, tangent is in fact sine over cosine. So we can make a fraction. That way we can add two fractions. Okay, let's do that. So part A. So this one tangent is same as sine over cosine, quotient identity, plus cosine theta over 1 plus sine theta. Okay, simplify means we need to make the final answer is smaller than the original. Okay, that's the idea. Here we got two fractions. Now we need to add. To add or subtract fractions, we need to make common denominator. So we multiply second fraction by the bottom of the first, so cosine over cosine. And we multiply first by the bottom of the second, 1 plus sine theta. Plus means we got two terms as a quantity, 1 plus sine theta over 1 plus sine theta. Okay, these are quantity if you like. Then we got the common denominator of 1 plus sine, quantity 1 plus sine times cosine. 1 plus sine theta times cosine theta. On the top I got quantity 1 plus sine theta times sine theta plus cosine times cosine. Oh, I can multiply cosine times cosine. Cosine theta is square, two copies, but we write cosine square theta. Here it's a 1 plus sine theta times sine theta, so we need to distribute. Okay, we need to distribute there. That means I can write it's a times, so it doesn't matter where I write cosine theta times quantity 1 plus sine theta on the bottom. Here sine theta times 1 sine theta plus sine theta times sine theta. Sine theta is squared, but we write sine square theta. I mean this is same as sine theta quantity squared plus cosine square theta. If you look at closely on the top, what is this collectively? Sine square theta plus cosine square theta. That is the Pythagorean identity, the first. Sine square theta plus cosine square of same angle theta, that is pretty much 1. Okay, this is collectively 1. So that means I got sine theta plus the whole thing is 1. All over cosine theta 1 plus sine theta. Oh, this is 1 plus sine theta quantity. This is sine theta plus 1, which is also 1 plus sine theta, because plus doesn't matter. And we can put parentheses around. So this is 1 plus sine theta quantity, and we got same thing. So we can cancel. That leaves cosine theta on the bottom. On the top, nothing means 1. We cancel 1 over cosine theta. That's the final answer. And we can simplify further. Reciprocal of cosine is secant. Okay. Let's do part B. We already have two fractions, so we need to combine. We multiply second fraction by the bottom of the first, which is sine theta over sine theta, and we multiply first fraction by the bottom of the second, which is 1 minus cosine. So 1 minus cosine over 1 minus cosine. Okay, that way we have the common denominator what? 1 minus cosine sine, 1 minus cosine sine, 1 minus cosine theta, or two terms means we put parentheses around, 1 minus cosine times sine theta. That's the common denominator. On the top, 1 minus cosine, so two terms means parentheses around, times 1 minus cosine was in the original fraction. 1 minus cosine, that's the bottom of the second, times this one, plus sine times sine. Oh, that's easy. Sine times sine is sine square theta. On the bottom is already in times, so already in factor. So somehow we need to cancel something. Don't cancel here. I mean, this one is plus. So 1 minus cosine has to be product with everything. So on the bottom I can write sine theta first, or I can leave there. So this is on the bottom. On the top we need to multiply here, okay? So that means FOIL. 1 minus cosine, you multiply 1 times 1, 1 times cosine, negative cosine times 1, negative cosine. It's like first terms, outer terms, inner, last. So just multiply, distribute. So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times cosine minus cosine times 1 minus cosine, minus minus plus cosine times cosine square theta, plus we got sine square theta there. Okay, we are getting there. We have an issue on the top because we got a big, so we need to combine like terms, and the bottom is already factored. Sine theta times quantity 1 minus cosine. Hopefully something cancels later. So if we look at the top closely, negative cosine, oh, we can combine. That means negative 2 copies of cosine, negative 2 cosine theta. Here cosine square plus sine square. Oh, that we can combine like last time. Pythagorean identity, that's 1. Okay, that is 1. And I got 1 as well, so I want to combine. This is 1, number 1, and here cosine square plus sine square is also 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. And minus cosine, another minus cosine, so minus 2 cosine theta. On the bottom, sine theta 1 minus cosine theta. Okay, do not cancel. We cannot cancel anything yet, but on the top we can factor 2 minus 2 cosine. These are unlike terms, but we can factor 2 out. That leaves 1 minus cosine theta. On the bottom, sine theta 1 minus cosine theta. Now this quantity 1 minus cosine from top and bottom cancel. So what is left? 2 over sine. That's it. Or look at this. This is 2 over sine, means 2 times 1 over sine. So we can write 2 over sine, we can write 1 over sine. So that 1 over sine is reciprocal, reciprocal of sine is cosecant. So this is 2 cosecant theta. Or 2 is 2 and 1 over sine is cosecant. So we could have gone directly there. This fraction, these two fractions when we combined became 2 cosecant theta or 2 over sine theta, same thing.